We're ready for our next guest. It is Ryan Helsley from the St. Louis Cardinals joining us on FT Live. How you doing? Good to see you again.
What's up, y'all? I'm doing good. How are y'all?
We're good. Remember, last time we spoke, right after Go ahead, AJ.
We got as Todd Frazier says, we got a problem.
Know.
We got a problem. Dude, I asked you why you didn't pitch. You went on the IL 32 seconds after you came off after I asked you that. And you didn't even give us a clue.
I knew I was going on, and you hadn't asked about anything like that before. I was like, surely they're not going to ask about that today, and it was just kind of a perfect storm. And I didn't want to leak the news on here, and then I get a text from the manager or the front office, and be like, why are you telling people you're hurt already? Wait till we release it. So, but it was literally as we were on the podcast, I think they released it.
What was the timing?
They released it. See, perfect. Yeah.
That's the thing. Were they watching us, and they were like, he's off, and boom, send email.
They had to.
Well, okay. So, how you feeling though? First off, with all of that, where to come about, and what's the timetable for getting back on the field?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I've been throwing the last couple of days, real light to 60 feet. I took about 3 weeks no throw, so it's going to be about 3 weeks of building up, and then a week to 10 days of bullpens, and a week to 10 days of games. So. Still looking at a little bit of time, but I'm feeling good, so that's encouraging.
Wait, are you in Skipper's office? Where are you right now? Because you're in Miami.
No, I'm in our mental skills coach office right now.
Okay, so forget the baseball stuff. You're on the IL. You're in Miami. I mean, South Beach, golf.
No,
beach?
I didn't make the trip. I didn't make the trip.
No, he's not there.
He's not there. Okay, that's why I was confused. Yeah. Okay, I was like, if you're in Miami on the IL, that means South Beach is in play. The golf course is in play.
No, not golf.
Oh, true. The beach is in play. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do in Miami on the IL.
I missed some good trips. I missed London and Miami, so it's a tough IL stint.
Yeah, you could have timed it better. If you just would have told us, we would have timed it better for you.
I know. I need to last about 2 more weeks.
Yeah, if you didn't get to go, what did the guy say about London? Because last time we asked you, we said, are you looking forward to London? What did the guy say?
Yeah, well, I thought I might go still, but the kind of mixed reviews, like travel was not great, and they said the traffic was, kind of crazy. But I think everybody enjoyed the time, getting to see, that part of the world for the first time and just getting to experience, all the new things and stuff. And they said the games were, a lot of fun. The atmosphere was great, and the fans, were very in tune to the game.
So if you would have gone on the IL, would you have enjoyed it more? Would you have been like, hey, you guys got a game, I'll be there at some point? Or would you have felt guilty and been like, no, I got to get treatment early?
Yeah, I think that was kind of why I stayed behind. The travel was so hectic, and it's a 7-8 hour flight, and then they said it took an hour to get to the hotel or in the field back and forth. So I think it just made more sense for me to stay here and stay out everybody's way.
What did the players say about the fans out there in London? I heard that it was still mostly like Cardinals fans traveling out there, Cubs fans traveling out there versus actually trying to impact the city and get them more into baseball. It just sounds like we have, as a sport, a lot of work to do versus many other countries where the game's super popular, of course. London, it's not like you have tons of kids playing baseball. They're always trying to compare it to cricket. So I was trying to get a pulse from people that were there. I was like, did you feel like there were a lot of people from London? It's usually not hard to tell the difference because they speak with a different accent. But did the guys say anything about that as far as the crowd and the people around them?
I mean, they said it was packed. There was like 55,000. They said the energy was great. I think there were a lot of fans that traveled. I think it was a great excuse for a lot of fans, to travel abroad and get to watch baseball and see their two favorite teams play. I think the league could do better, because the travel is so tough that, maybe we play in another city over there somewhere, maybe not London, but, somewhere, in Europe and make it a little more worth your while type trip because that travel is hard on your bodies, especially when, guys are 80 games deep and then you get back and from a 10-hour flight and you got to wake up and play 2 days later. So, but I think it's great for the game. I think it's a good idea, and I think it's going to bode well for the game.
Now that London's over and you're on the IL, is that why you're trying to grow a little mustache there?
Yeah, you see that? That's all I got, dude. That's like 2 weeks. I can't grow any facial hair.
Is that because you're on the IL and you're bored? You just don't have anything to do, so you're like, you know what? My wife is going to hate if I grow this mustache. So I'm going to just do it anyways.
Everybody hates it here. They tell me to shave it every day, but I got that 2 or 3 other guys on the IL with me to grow one out too. So we got the mustache crew going.
Are you bored yet on the IL? You're losing your mind. I mean, what do you do all day? Because you have no game to go to, right?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the silver lining of it all is I'm getting to spend more time with my family, like my wife and my little daughter. So that's been fun getting to see her, crawl around the house and, kind of grow into herself a little bit. And she's starting to try to walk and stuff like that. So getting to see some, milestones and getting to spend a little more time, with them where otherwise I wouldn't.
So are you a jerk on the IL? Are you a better dad? Or are you like, this is so nice and relaxing. I know I can't do anything about it. I'm relaxed. I'm getting my work in.
No, I've helped out quite a bit around the house. I feel like I've done a pretty good job. I feel like I'm doing dad mode pretty good right now, trying to help alleviate some of the stuff to help the wife out, help with bottles and making food and all that other stuff. And, splitting the duties a little more, though I'm home now a little more.
Hey, when you guys just played the Yankees, were you sitting in the bullpen or were you sitting in the dugout?
I did both. I kind of moved back and forth, just kind of depending on what I had going on.
Were you out there talking shit to Bader? No. You could sit in right field with the Cardinals bullpen and you could yell right at him, or if you're in the dugout when he comes up to hit, he'd punch out and you'd be like, see, that's why we traded your ass. You suck.
No, I think everybody over here loved him. They had some fun banter with him there in the ninth yesterday when Hicks faced him, and he got the strike called on him. I think Kisner was distracting him, and he was late looking at the pitcher, so he got banged for a strike call in the ninth. I don't think he was too happy about that, which is pretty funny. But it was fun to play him. We miss him over here in St. Louis. Obviously, he's a great player, and it's exciting for him to be there in New York.
When you're watching this team from afar now for this series against Miami, how do you watch? Like making sure you're like on time, game starting, got a little snack? Do you yell at the TV if you get a bad call for one of your boys?
Yeah, always. You're always yelling at the TV. It's just kind of second nature. I feel like it's hard. It's hard to watch the games, honestly. It's fun when they're in town. You get to be a part of the team, but it's kind of hard seeing it on the road. You're not there hanging out with the guys and competing with them, and but also it gives you something to do because you have so much time. It gives you something to look forward to in the later part of your day.
Do you watch the entire game? You have to be honest because you weren't honest with the whole IL stint in your last time. Do you watch the whole game, or are you like, I'll just wait till the bullpen guys come in?
Yeah, I usually do. I usually watch the whole game, unless I got something going on or I'm not home, obviously. But yeah, I'm usually tuned in to the start. Yeah, I'm usually locked in majority of the time if I'm home.
Well, listen, it's hard to watch because I remember being on the IL. I was in Texas and we were facing Verlander, and I was in Frisco, which is like 30 minutes up the street. And I was in a bar with the Double-A team, and we were watching Verlander. I was like, "Oh yeah, we need a hitter." So it sucks being on the IL. They won't let you travel? Is that like a Cardinals thing, or is that a personal thing? Because a lot of teams, some teams say, I was on teams where they would say, "Okay, you have to go to our spring training site to rehab," and some teams say you can travel if you want to, and then some teams would say you got to stay in the home city. So is that a Cardinals thing, or is that a personal choice?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a mix. I think they'd probably let me travel if I pushed hard enough with it. Judge was here this series and was here in St. Louis with the Yankees, so obviously they let him travel. But I think they'd let you do whatever you want. They'd let me go to Florida if I wanted to, but I'd rather be here, in St. Louis with the team, especially when they're here at home. I think I'd go insane if I was in Florida right now. So it's kind of nice to stay here in St. Louis and be around, the team when they're home.
That's fair. Ryan, take me through what you're seeing then. I want your analysis on the ball club. A nice dub yesterday against Garrett Cole, and also Jordan Montgomery against his squad when they kind of blitzed him last year with the trade. I'm like, dude's going to pitch up. And I saw afterward, like Cole sent him a little like tip of the cap text with a meme, something like that. So what did you think of them from the weekend set? And do you feel like there's a turnaround here where the team can make a run? Half the season left to go. Fortunate that in the NL Central, nobody is going nuts. It's the Braves aren't in the NL Central right now. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. I think I've played some great ball over the weekend. We could have won, 4-6. Obviously lost a heartbreaker there to Houston, but I feel like we're starting to play better ball. Monty pitched a great game. He's a stud. We're glad he's on our team, and To take a win away from Garrett Cole and the Yankees, that's always a big time win, and hopefully that gives us some confidence. If we can beat a guy like him, we can probably do pretty well against most of the pitchers in the league, and hopefully it gets our offense going a little bit, and kind of feeds into the rest of the team. I think the rest of the year, I think we can keep going. Our team's really good. We've always said since the beginning of the year we like our roster. We like the guys who we have. We have a few guys banged up right now, obviously, but I think we're more than capable of turning it around. Baseball's a crazy game. You never know. You just got to show up and be ready to play every day, and hopefully we can rattle off a few in a row.
What have coaches and or front office staff said about the team defensively? Because they were so damn good last year on that front. It's mostly the same guys. So I'm looking. For example, Nolan, he's going to be better in the second half defensively to his standards. He's talked about it. So what have you seen from the team from a defensive standpoint? Is there anything that you can do there? I'm wondering, the team went from not shifting much, then they definitely did, especially when Schilt left, and now you have restrictions. If that kind of messed with anything, and you have some guys playing in different positions, like Edman in the outfield a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of the alignments and stuff probably come, from up top or, all the analytics club. I'm not really sure, how that works. I'm not a position player. Most of those guys are more in tune with all that stuff and where they get their information from. But I don't think it helps when you lose Bader. He was with us for 100 games last year, so that's going to weigh a lot to our defensive metrics. And, O'Neill's been hurt most of the year too, who's won 2 Gold Gloves. So having those 2 outfielders is going to kind of probably skew the numbers a little bit and not have them up as much. And, having Tommy in center field, he's great out there, man. He can play anywhere you put him. He could probably catch if you wanted him to. It seems like anywhere you put him, he makes plays, and he's going to play, all 27 outs as hard as he can. And, you got Donnie who does the same thing. I think, like you said, I think the second half it's going to shift and kind of equal out a little bit better.
Okay, so I'm going to read you. We got to do this. We have you on all the time. So you can just tell me your experience, even if you don't know the whole story here. Michael K. said, I found out something. I was talking to a lot of Cardinal people. The reason they took Contreras out from behind the plate, he was calling pitchers the pitcher on the mound didn't have. He would be calling for a cutter for a pitcher that didn't throw a cutter. The pitchers were going crazy.
I think we have one guy in the bullpen who he'll call pitches like that for him sometimes. He doesn't really throw a changeup, and he'll call a changeup sometimes. But he's been throwing it more, so maybe it is good that he's been calling it. But early on, it's tough, right? You come to a new team and you got, 15 guys you got to learn and all their pitches and how they work and what they like to throw in certain counts. It's definitely tough, and the guy really cares a lot. He's always studying film and trying to have a two-way street, a conversation with each pitcher, because he wants us to be out there comfortable, with him, and he wants to be out there. He wants to win. He wants to be a leader for this team.
So does that mean you now have a changeup that you don't throw, that you have did that ever happen before this year? Had you ever seen something like that happen before?
No, you got Yachty, who's arguably one of the best catchers ever, and you can't even explain the type of presence that guy had on the field unless you experienced it, or understand the game really. And just pitching with him is just so calming out there, as calming as it can be. This guy's seen every type of hitter, and whatever pitch he calls, he has that belief in you out there on the mound. And you're like, all right, this guy's a legend. He's calling this pitch for me in this count. He believes in it. He believes in my stuff. So that kind of having him back there really, I think, helped a lot of pitching staffs. And we leaned on him a lot, obviously, and who wouldn't, rightfully so. He managed the games and was always talking to guys all over the field. He'd be talking to the first baseman and third baseman on certain pitches. I know Bader always talked about they had signs that he would give to him in center field on where to play, and then they would relay to other guys in the outfield. So that guy was doing it all, and he was really controlling all 9 guys and controlling the game. And it's just crazy to see him look back on and understand how good he was mentally as well. And but yeah, I have a changeup though. I do throw it every now and then. I haven't thrown one this year. I threw 6 last year, but I keep it in my back pocket in case they ever call it or ask me to start one day.
Ryan, I still want that story to not be true about Contreras, because not only is he your catcher and he was there all spring training, but he played in the division and faced all you guys. So to me, that hurts my heart as a former catcher. Because one thing as a former catcher you took pride in is knowing what your guys threw. Like I wouldn't catch you and say, "Man, Ryan, he doesn't. He said he has a changeup, so we're 3-2 in the ninth facing Shohei Ohtani. We're gonna throw a changeup right
Yeah.
here." Like that would be bad on me. So I hope and pray that story is not true, because that just hurts me inside as a former catcher. And if it is true, I hope somebody took him out in the back. Well, I guess the Cardinals did it as an organization. We're like, "Hey, you're not catching anymore until you learn that Ryan Helsley doesn't throw a changeup." Not saying it was you, obviously, but like,
Right.
gosh, I mean, he obviously fixed it. So that I guess that's a step in the right direction. But gosh, it just hurts my heart.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how Chicago did it. Maybe they were giving him signs from the dugout, so maybe, he didn't have to call pitches then, or maybe, a lot of guys call their own pitches, like, swipe up is a pitch from some, or swipe down, or my swipe on my leg, whatever, So I don't know how Chicago did it, but I think he's definitely, learning and understanding, how a lot of guys want to pitch here, and having Waino, who pitched with Yachty for 17, 18 years, has helped a lot. I think Waino's feeding into him a lot and helping him grow, and he wants to get better. He wants to be the best. The guy's obviously super talented. He's won a World Series, and he's been an All-Star, so he's definitely capable for sure.
How's Waino doing? I know he's struggled on the mound and had the injury to start the season. He pitched in the WBC. We have had him on the show. AJ's tight with him. Beloved in the sport. At the same time, and we called this out last week, he shut his Twitter down, and maybe that's for him to focus, but also, I mean, the trolls are just going off, and it's like that's the last dude that should take any blame for what he has put together for a couple decades. And it's not like, and he'd be the first person to tell you, it's not like, oh, I'm the number one starter on this team, right? He's going through it a little bit right now. So what have you observed from him? He's going through his last season, but he also knows how much adversity he's dealing with, both on the mound and with the ball club.
Yeah, obviously he's not the same pitcher he was, 10 years ago, or even, a couple years ago. So, like, it's cool to see him wanting to learn, almost like a rookie again, talking to other guys, and, just how certain stuff works, or certain mindsets. It's cool to see a guy who's, probably borderline Hall of Famer, and for sure a Cardinals Hall of Famer, just wanting to learn every day, still wanting to get better, whether that's using like TrackMan, or trying to develop a new pitch, or tweak a pitch, or whatever it is. He obviously cares. He wants to compete in this franchise, and this team, and this city means the world to him. He's raised his family here, and he wants to leave out on a good note. So I don't think there's anybody in the world that could doubt or question his heart, or his will, or wanting to be the best he can be out there. I mean, it's obviously tough, and this game is not easy by any means at all. But just to see him go out there, I believe in him every day. He steps out there on the mound. He's got the right mindset and wants to compete. And he's going to do the best he can, as long as he's got the ball in his hand. He's got that mindset of, I'm trying to go 9 every time until you take the ball away from me. So, and I think that mindset feeds into, the other guys as well, even if, like you said, Waino's not our best pitcher right now, and obviously going through it. But, I think he's got the ability and definitely the mindset to turn it around and kind of help us the second half.
Who do you feel like you've learned more from, Waino or Yachty?
Probably Waino. I mean, I think Waino's probably learned a lot from Yachty too, though. So you could probably say a combination of the two. But Waino on the field, you learn so much, and off the field too, just as a human being, as a father, as a dad, just picking his brain about everything throughout all walks of life, obviously, and just having him on our team is great for our team, and where we want to be and where we want to go. And I think his positive mindset kind of is contagious, and you never know he has a bad day. He shows up, he's the same guy every day, whether he's 7 shutty or didn't get out of the first. And I think in this game it's hard to not let your results affect you, and I think he does a great job of that, and showing up ready to work the next day no matter what.
Hey, when you go out on your rehab assignment eventually here in the next few weeks, maybe a month, whatever it is away, what are you going to get the boys for spread? What are you going to get the guys in the bushes for spread? Like, you got to do something decent. You're not just on a minor league deal now.
Right. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I guess it depends on what city you're in, or if I go to AA or AAA, or where they send me. So I might have to do some recon in the cities coming up, and talk to the club and get the guys something exciting and good.
Ryan, I've got a guy for you who can help you with that. Show everyone. He's played everywhere.
Whatever
Whatever
city
city
you're
it is, just hit up Kratz and he'll be like, yeah, I got a guy at the Outback. Is Johnny from Outback.
Outback,
He'll hit you
no,
up.
bro,
No, no,
Outback.
No,
if you go to
No, I'm
Triple-
saying if he's in Bumblefuck and there's no
what's-
other place.
There's
Double A-
always a place.
Double A
Okay,
is
but
where?
what's the place in Bumblefuck? Like, what's the top
Depends on
place
what
in
town.
the most rando city? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just
there's
say
some
it.
cities.
Buffalo. Like Buffalo,
No,
there's some epic
Buffalo
places.
I know. You got to
Hey,
go
where's-
way more random than that.
Where's
Well,
Double A for the Cardinals?
Yeah, where's Double A?
Double A? Tulsa? No,
Springfield.
Springfield. Okay, what the hell do they have in Springfield?
Honestly, I don't remember. I was there 6 years ago, so
Yeah,
I'm not,
exactly.
I don't really remember.
And Triple A is Memphis, right? So if you go to Memphis, you got to get
Memphis,
barbecue.
you're good, but
Memphis
Double A,
barbecue, no doubt.
Kratz,
Epic ribs.
Kratz,
Yeah.
Springfield. What are
Springfield.
we doing?
Never played in that league.
Then it's not real. All right,
It's
we'll
not
do
a
some
real league.
homework. It's not real. If Kratz
I
doesn't play
played
there,
in the
it's
Eastern League.
not real. All right,
Ditto,
well,
me too.
we'll do some homework then, Ryan. For the next time you come back on, might be perfect timing. We'll start
Yeah.
planning some
gonna list.
Springfield hot spots for you in case you end up there. Memphis, you don't
Yeah.
need any help. There's plenty.
Pre-game
Memphis
and
is
post-game.
big. Yes.
Pre-game and post-game.
Mm-hmm. We're
Ryan,
on.
next time you come on, make sure you have breaking news for us, okay? About your situation, so we don't have to find out through someone else. Thank you.
It's not
Yeah.
up to him, AJ. They're gonna click. They're gonna wait on the press release.
Okay. Well, he could have said I have breaking news, but you guys will find out as soon as I finish his hit.
For his broadcasting career. What
Yeah.
a teaser.
Yeah.
Ryan Helsley reporting breaking news after this.
Yes.
Ryan, we appreciate you, dude. Keep doing your thing. Get back on that field soon. We'll talk to you in a few weeks. All right, bud?
Appreciate you guys. Sounds good. I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you. See you soon, Ryan.